let us listen to the voice of the innocent. The Christmas message of Brother Francesco Patton, Custos of the Holy Land, addressed to all men and women of goodwill who love the land where the Saviour of the world was born. The light of faith in the face of the drama of war. On the 11th of December, Piazza Santa Maria in Trastevere in Rome was lit with candles of faith and hope for a prayer dedicated to world peace. Publication of the book Palestine, Cradle of Christianity. On the 13th of December, Dal al Kalima University, in cooperation with the Pontifical Mission, organised a conference in Bethlehem to present the book Palestine, Cradle of Christianity. Hanukkah, lighting up the world. Hanukkah, also known as the Festival of Lights, is a major Jewish holiday. Christmas Day coincides with the beginning of this holiday. The Children of Bethlehem, Catholic action in support of families. Throughout the Christmas holiday period, Catholic Action Bethlehem organised days of games and educational moments for the children of the city.
Dear friends, as the evangelist Luke recounts, Mary and Joseph had to go to Bethlehem for the census. Since there was no room for them in some hostel, they had to adopt, and they found refuge in a cave, one of those that shepherds also used. In this way, they have a little privacy, and Mary can give birth to the infant Jesus, who, wrapped in swaddling clothes, is placed in the manger. It almost seems like a prophecy of the fact that that child who has grown up will become our food, but also the fact that that child, when has grown up, will be again and hastily wrapped in swaddling clothes and then in a sheet and placed in a very different cave, that of the tomb. Although the story of Christmas and the representation we make of it in the crib inspire us with sweetness and a sense of poetry, when Jesus was born, the reality was very difficult. Rome dominated the entire Mediterranean world by force. In Judea, a small satellite of the great empire, Herod reigned, a king so attached to power that he even eliminated his own children in order not to have rivals. A king who is afraid of a newborn child because he is indicated by prophecies as a possible king and Messiah. A king who therefore goes so far as to carry out a preventive massacre, having all the children in the Bethlehem area aged 2 and under killed, to avoid the risk that one of them, having grown up, will take away his power and kingdom. This Christmas, still darkened by the darkness of hatred and war, still infected by the virus of human indifference, still reddened by the blood of too many innocent people killed, let us kneel before the manger in which Mary laid the infant Jesus, and accept the invitation addressed by Pope Francis to the whole world on the occasion of last Christmas. To say yes to Prince of Peace means to say no to war, and this with courage, to say no to war, to every war, to the very logic of war, a journey without a destination, a defeat without winners, madness without excuses. From the crib, the child asks us to be the voice of the voiceless, the voice of the innocent. Let's not forget this when we shake hands and exchange greetings with each other. Merry Christmas from Bethlehem.
On the 11th of December, Piazza Santa Maria in Trastevere in Rome was lit with candles of faith and hope during a prayer dedicated to world peace, presided over by Cardinal Matteo Zuppi, President of the Italian Bishops' Conference.
La speranza di pace, abbiamo acceso tante luci e speriamo che...
A hope for peace. We have lit many lights. Let us hope that the light of hope can also illuminate this deep darkness of division, hatred and violence. May it be for Christians a Christmas of peace. But peace is always for all and of all, and we must all choose the way of peace.
E tutti dobbiamo scegliere la via della pace.
The participation of Brother Ibrahim Faltas, vicar of the Custody of the Holy Land, was a living testimony to the wounds of a land that has seen the birth of peace, but today bleeds under the weight of wars and divisions. We participated in this peace vigil because truly we need peace. We prayed for peace throughout the world. We prayed for peace throughout the world. And we hope that before Christmas, this peace that we all need will be realized.
عشت الحرب بسوريا لأيام وسنوات طويلة. كانت كتير صعبة.
I lived through the war in Syria for many days and years. It was never easy. When my daughter was born, we came to Italy. Today, we live here finally in peace. We always dream of a world where peace reigns. This is a very important day for me and for all those who, like me, wish for peace.
أنا هون لأنه اليوم في صلاة للسلام بالعالم. هذا يوم كتير مهم لإلي ولكل العالم اللي بتتمنى السلام. أنا اليوم بدي أوجه كلمة لبلدي لعائلتي اللي موجودة بسوريا.
I address my country and my family in Syria today, saying to them, we will not forget you. Let us pray every day, every hour, for peace to return to our land and for wars to cease in every corner of the world. Today, more than ever, we need prayer, because the only true solution to all wars is peace.
الصلاة والحل الوحيد لكل الحروب هو السلام.
In the face of the drama of war, prayer reveals itself as a bridge of salvation that unites man to God. Christ said, "Where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, there am I in the midst of them. Therefore, Lord, hear and answer our prayers." On the 13th of December, the University of Dal al Kalima, in cooperation with the Pontifical Mission, organized a conference at the University Theatre in Dal al Kalima in Bethlehem to present the book Palestine, Cradle of Christianity, an introduction to the history of the origins of Christianity from the 1st to the 7th century. Among the participants were the mayors of Bethlehem and Beit Jala, Bishop Munib Yunan of the Lutheran Church in the Holy Land, Bishop Afram of the Syro-Catholic Church, Reverend Mitri Raheb, rector of Dal al Kalima University, Father Iyad Twal, executive vice president of Bethlehem University, and Professor Joseph Hasbun, regional director of the Pontifical Mission in Jerusalem. The 300-page book was written by local professors, priests and academics and edited by Professor Joseph Hasbun and Professor Magdi al-Shomali. In the context of my relationship with Reverend Dr. Mitri Raheb, as we both share the pain caused by migration, we are united in our desire to take action to reduce it by strengthening the sense of belonging to the land. It is crucial that our young people know their history and understand their roots have been in Palestine for over 2,000 years. In his speech, Professor Hasbun highlighted that in order to counter emigration, it is not enough to provide jobs, housing, and education. It is also crucial to cultivate a deep sense of belonging to the land of Jesus and the early church. The director of Dal al Kalima University highlighted that many people are unaware that Palestine has always been and continues to be a land of rich religious, ethnic and linguistic diversity, highlighting that this plurality is a key distinguishing feature of the region. It is evident from some Palestinian curricula that Christians are wrongly presented as a product of the Crusades. Ignorance about the origin of Christians in Palestine is not exclusively limited to certain local circles. When foreign guests visit us, they often ask, "When did you become Christians?" as if we were Muslim converts to Christianity, unaware that Christianity in Palestine predates Islam. The opening session of the conference included a talk by Father Aziz Halawa on the origin of Christianity in Palestine in the 1st century. This was followed by a lecture by Father Yaqub Rafidi on the history of Christian pilgrimage in Palestine. The second session of the conference explored topics such as the origins of monasteries in Palestine, the arts in the Byzantine period, and the history of the Church of the Nativity. In the second chapter of the Acts of the Apostles, it is stated that Christianity originated in Jerusalem. Since then, it has stopped telling how we lived our Christian faith here. This book is an important step in this direction. In turn, Reverend Mitri Raheb highlighted that there are few references in Arabic on the history of Christianity in Palestine in the first 7 centuries. Therefore, we made sure that the book was made up of scientific and academic studies, with the hope that Palestinian universities would include it in some of their curricula, either as a compulsory requirement or as an optional option, so that this knowledge could spread among Palestinians. Reverend Mitri Raheb stated that the book is a dedication to the memory of the first Christian martyrs through whose struggles Christianity began in Palestine and from there spread throughout the world. From them we openly draw inspiration for the firmness of faith and the patience of hope. Christmas Day corresponds with the beginning of the Jewish festival of Hanukkah. It commemorates the 8 days in which the revolt initiated by the Hasmoneans in the 2nd century BC succeeded in overthrowing the tyranny of the Seleucids over Judea Sea, restoring worship and faith in the living God. According to an oral tradition, after the fighting, the priests could not find enough olive oil to keep the temple menorah lit, and so a miracle within a miracle occurred. The little oil was not consumed, just as the faith of the few had, in effect, enlightened the many, was not consumed. Hence the custom of lighting every day a lamp from the 8-armed candelabrum plus one, called Hanukkah.
Il miracolo vero riguarda il fatto che i pochi hanno vinto i molti, ed è questo il motivo per il quale per 8 giorni da una luce si arriva a 8 luci, proprio a crescere.
Very heartfelt celebration, simply because it involves families. It involves children above all. It's a celebration that also happens at a time when there are other festivals of lights, so there's probably an ancient connection with these festivals. Very nice to see. These families not only go on outings, but they organize a lot of family activities, and every day at sunset. After sunset, they go outside the houses, especially on the doors of the houses, because this miracle must be absolutely public. So the characteristic is to see these lights outside the doors of the houses.
Dopo il tramonto si recano fuori delle case, soprattutto sugli usci delle case, perché questo miracolo deve essere assolutamente pubblico, e quindi la caratteristica è quella di vedere queste luci che si trovano fuori delle porte delle case.
Angela explains that the word light is the 25th to appear in the book of Genesis, just as on the 25th of Kislev, or December, as religious traditions liturgically commemorate an event that corresponds to the cosmic mystery expressed in the winter solstice, for example, the Christmas of Jesus. The young people director of the Italian Temple Museum in Jerusalem, Daniel Niv, shows us 3 Hanukkah of great historical and symbolic value. The first is Ashkenazi and comes from Germany. The second was taken from the helmet of an Austro-Hungarian soldier. And finally, the third, to which he seems very attached, is shaped like an Italian nobleman's palace. underlining the link between this holiday and the temple. The museum of this lively Italian-speaking Jewish community hosts and will host several exhibitions open to all without denominational constraints or barriers.
It's no secret that we live in relatively dark times, and it's all about bringing more light into the world. The new exhibition in the museum, which opens at the 24th of this month, is called Light of the World. It's about different synagogues and different communities around the world, including, of course, Italy. And the idea is to connect ourselves to that light that we can bring into the world. We need to remember ourselves and remember to be kind and to show kindness towards the other world.
Throughout the Christmas period, Catholic Action in Bethlehem organises play days and educational moments for the children of the city, in support of families who often have to cope alone with the stress that children experience in this delicate phase of Palestinian history. David Tabash has 4 children. He tells us about his mission and his connection with Catholic Action since childhood.
I am in the Catholic Action since I was 7 years old. Now I'm 41. And I used to play basketball. I used to stay hours and days daily to come here. I knew my wife here in the Catholic Action. I met her. She used to watch me play basketball. We used to meet here. So because of the Catholic Action, we created a Christian family. Now we're a big family with 4 children. So the mission of Bethlehem Institution, the Catholic Action, is to create a safe haven for them and bring their families to sit and have time, because we have the space here. They see the news, they see the violence, they see the kids dying, unfortunately. We want them to have hope.
The importance of building places like these is undervalued, especially in the West, despite the great legacy of Don Bosco, Philip Neri, and so many holy educators. Yet the parish is called to be a place where life flows, serene and dynamic. The young Haya Nasser coordinates the girls who in the mornings look after the young children from 3 to 8 years old, and in the afternoons the teenagers up to 15 years old.
We are trying now in the Christmas season to make a joyful atmosphere for the children to live the Christmas spirit. So today we are making Christmas workshops for the kids for different ages. We also have some plays also for the kids. Despite all the atmosphere we are living in and the situation, we are trying to make what we can for the children to live the Christmas spirit, and I hope that every family will live in a good situation, to have a better situation here in Bethlehem, for everyone to be happy, so for next year we can live as normal.
Father Iyad Twal, appointed Auxiliary Bishop for Jordan. The Holy Father Pope Francis has appointed Father Iyad Twal as the new Auxiliary Bishop for Jordan. The announcement was made in the Hall of the Latin Patriarchate in Jerusalem. The Church of Santa Caterina, liturgy, devotion and pious exercises. A new in-depth study of Father Carlo Giuseppe Adesso, who leads us to Bethlehem to discover the daily procession in the grotto. From Gaza, birthday greetings to Pope Francis. A moment of joy for the Christian community of Gaza, who wished the Holy Father live on the occasion of his 88th birthday. Open yourself to a gesture of solidarity and support the mission of the Custody of the Holy Land. The Christian Media Center spreads the good news of Jesus by making known to the world the spirituality of the holy places and the lives of the Christians who live here. Your contribution will help us bring the proclamation of the risen Lord, the most urgent of all, to men and women of every language and nation. To help us concretely, open the QR code. Your choice makes a difference.